Welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for MATIC. I just wanted to show you my primary on the daily, just a refresher. Looking for this to become an A, B, C. Looking for minimum the 1-to-1 extension of this A wave off the B up to around 244 and potentially pushing above for all-time highs as a corrective move to the upside. Alternatively, if we fail and we don't hold this pivot, I would expect this to make an E wave to the downside in a larger triangle, in which case moving to all-time highs. So looking for those two scenarios currently. My primary is the ABC to the upside. I'll go down to the 4-hour. And we'll talk about this previous low here. One thing to keep in mind is if we do fail here, we would expect to be in a correction here as a 3 as an ABC, and then find our connecting wave to the downside in that E leg. And that's where this is a running flat in itself, and we'd expect not to break above this previous A wave high within the B, which is at according to Binance, 95.82. So if this does fail, we'd expect it to hold that level as a running flat. Reason being, you can see we became between the 1.236 to 1.382 extension of this A wave. So that is valid. And reason we're considering that option is we didn't come to the 1-to-1 extension of this A wave for our C, which was at 64.7 cents. Now, if the bottom is in, which is my primary, this bottom is in, there's a couple different options. And I'll show you that down on the hourly. It's kind of a tough count because there's too many options available. But what's nice is if you've been in this trade like I have, we are moving in the right direction, which is to the upside. The question is, what is this wave currently making? And it will clear itself up eventually. But I have a couple different options. First is we have a diagonal as a 5-wave move to the upside in a diagonal series of ABCs. We then have an ABC to the downside. And this is where it gets all messed up. And I just want to show you the options. And sometimes it's best just to sit and wait and get more options available. Now I'll show you one option, which is that this is some sort of really ugly diagonal, but I don't like it. Where this is our 3rd wave little ABC, but it's really ugly and it's reaching for guidelines. The option I actually like better, as you can see, we came between our B and X zone of this wave here. I actually like, if we are super bullish here, is that this is our 3-wave A, most likely WXY. Let me get rid of that. WXY. And that's actually where we've completed our correction. And I'll show you why. We came just past our 1.382. We didn't make invalidation of this A wave. That's those extensions you can see in orange. And we did reach our minimum requirement to consider this a correction, which was the 618 extension of this W wave for our Y. So you can see we have technically reached the minimum requirements there. So if this is our wave 1 and 2 over here as a running flat WXY complex correction, then this is another 1-2, potentially 1-2. So that's how we can be extremely bullish on MATIC. If that's the case, we should protect this low in that scenario. We shouldn't come back to that area because, you know, if we have a 1-2, 1-2, we expect a pretty strong 3rd. So that's option number 1. Now, option number 2, I'll show you that, is this is actually a very complex leading diagonal in itself. And that is, you can see we came between the 618 and the 786 of this move here off this pivot, which is right here between 85 cents and 88 cents. And if that's the case, and we are actually making a diagonal, what that would look like is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and looking for this to just be an ABC to complete, ABC, and that's our fifth. And then we come back and make our larger correction, go off for our third, and that's a larger one too. So in that scenario, I pulled our wave 3 off our wave 4. The 618 and the 786 is where we'd expect to stop. So anywhere in this area between 88 cents and around 91 cents. And if we pass 93.21, as you can see in yellow, then it is not a diagonal the way labeled in this manner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because as soon as we pass 93.21, let's see which one's higher. 92.43 on linear. Target's higher. As soon as we pass 92.43, then the third wave becomes the shortest, which cannot happen in a diagonal. So that's where I would be like, okay, then this is most likely a running complex correction for our wave 2. Then we'd be going 1, 2, 1, 2, and we just take off. So that's what I'm looking at. So if you're already in this trade and you're anticipating that 1, 2, 1, 2, that's a good stop, good area for your stop. And if you get stopped out, you just look for a re-entry lower. If it ends up being a diagonal, not financial advice, just telling you what I would do. But as you can see, it's a pretty ugly structure. There are those multiple options, but you can see it does have potential to be pretty bullish. And if we do stop up here, I want to see the reaction. Like, do we sideways consolidate in this area, or do we reject really hard? That's the important thing. But if you followed along, you should be in this long like I am. Not financial advice, but just wanted to explain the structure here. Now, what I don't like about this as the diagonal is the fact we're coming out of our trend line. As you can see, I pulled from the 1, 2 for our third. We shouldn't have gone above this trend line, kind of rejected. We can get a little bit of throw over, but not much. And again, if we pass this 1-to-1 at 92.43, then chances are this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're about to take off. All right, guys, that's it for MATIC. I will make sure to update this one. I'm interested to see how this fills out. I am holding and looking for it to go. All right, guys, that's it for MATIC. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.